Yo guys, it's L2 Trades. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I haven't posted my trade recap yet, but eventually I will. Um, Today we are going to be talking about the psychological aspect of trading. And the title of this um, YouTube video is "Why Not You?" And as I dive into that, I'm just going to be telling you guys about the psychological aspects of trading and how you gotta really want it. So number one is why 99% of traders fail. There are three main things: unrealistic expectations, emotions, and over risking and over trading. So first, I'm gonna start off with why 99% of traders fail. 99% of traders fail. It's not really because they fail. It's because they quit. They quit. Why do they quit? They quit because they think that this is a get rich quick scheme. They think that this is, oh, I'm going to make all this money and I'm going to be so rich in like a day. Like they they quit. They don't fail. They quit because they just don't want to put in the hard work that the 1% of people, the 1% of traders are trying to do to be successful and to be rich. So, number one, I'm starting off with unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic expectations, what I mean by this is, I mean, people come into this thinking, and myself, right now I don't, but when I started this, they come into this trading thing thinking that they're gonna get rich super quick, they're gonna make all this money, they're gonna buy all this stuff, they're gonna, you know, they're gonna make a, living out of this in like 2 months. Like they're gonna make $1 million in a day. Like no, like that's pretty much what 99% of traders come into this thinking, um, that they're gonna get rich quick. And obviously, this is not a get rich quick scheme. Um, I personally thought that myself as well, and I quickly realized that this was a way, way different ball game than what I was thinking it was. And the hard truth is, you are not going to make $1 million in one day. You are not going to make $100,000 in one day first starting. You're not going to make 10,000 one day first starting. Like eventually, you'll get there. You will get there at a certain point in your trading time, but you're not going to get there in your first month, your first 6 months, your first year. Most likely you can make good money in your first 6 months. You can become profitable in 6 months. You just have to be able to put in the work. But you're not gonna be making millions of dollars that time. It's gonna take hours of work. It's gonna take hours of, you know, back testing, journaling, everything. And you just got to get in the right mindset, and you have to um have the right mindset and come into trading with the right mindset, thinking more longer term, more like, where am I going to be at in 5 years? That's a great goal. Not where am I going to be at in a month, in a day, 2 months, 3 months. Where am I going to be at in 5 years? In 5 years from now, if you stick with trading, your life will change for forever. You can change the trajectory of your life. You just got to come in trading thinking and knowing this is not a get rich quick scheme. I am going to work hard. This is a long term thing. I'm not going to get rich in 1 month. It's not gonna happen. Um, and once your mindset changes to more longer term, to more, this is not about the money aspect. Um, that's where it's really gonna start, and that's where you're really gonna start thriving in trading. Number two is emotions. you know, when you're trading, your emotions can really get the best of you. You know, if you take a trade and you know you're like, oh, I'm gonna win, you're just clicking buy and sell and buy and sell and buy and sell every day you're trading with no edge, with nothing. Um, then you know you can let your emotions will probably get to you. You know, when you're first starting, you'll let your emotions get to you. And one of the main things, there's three things in trading which you need to have. You need to have a strategy, you need to have psychology, and you have risk management. You need to have psychology to be successful in trading. If you take a loss in trading, obviously you're gonna have some emotions. It's gonna be like, okay, like I'm mad, I lost this trade. I'm gonna revenge trade now. I'm gonna, do stuff like that. And this also correlates with the overtraining aspect too. If you take a loss and you're mad and you want to win, you're probably most likely gonna want to trade again and trade again and trade again until you win. But that's gonna, catch up to you. You can take another loss. You can lose even more money. Like, and emotions and psychology is one of the best things in trading. And honestly, it's really, really changed my life. My mindset has changed, and uh, I used to get so mad when I lost, but you guys really just gotta stop caring about the losses. Why I say that is because when you lose, you can learn something from that loss and then never make that mistake again, right? So honestly, chase the losses. The more losses you take, the more things you learn. And then once you learn those things, you're going to start taking less losses and more wins. And you're going to win and win and win and win. And that's just like, the aspect of trading. You can't let your emotions get to you. Because when you let your emotions get to you and when you let your emotions take over your head and your brain, you're gonna revenge trade and you're gonna get mad and you're gonna trade on emotions, and that's like one of the number one things you guys cannot do is trade on your emotions. You can't trade on your emotions. If you trade on your emotions, it's gonna be really bad. Um, so you guys just gotta let go of the emotions, fuck the money, don't care about the money. It is not about the money. Trading is not about the money. You have to come into this thinking this is not about the money. Of course, trading, when you're trading for a long time, the reward is the money will come, but that's after the work you put in. So you guys gotta come into this thinking, no money. I don't care about the money. You know, if you do risk $1 per trade, like, and you guys honestly should start off by paper trading first, which is fake money. So you guys should have no emotions of that and not give a shit. But yeah, so that's the emotions. You guys can't let your emotions get to you. Gotta have a great mindset. Don't care about the losses. Learn from the losses. It's the number one thing you guys need to take off of that. So take notes. Learn from your losses. Journal your trades. And number three, we're gonna go into over risking and over trading. So over risking and over trading is basically we'll start off over risking. Over risking is when you are risking more, you know, a large amount of percent in your account, which you shouldn't, which you probably don't have enough capital to be able to be risking that. So over risking is like basically say I have a $50,000 account and I'm risking $10,000 on a trade. If I lose 5 times in a row, my account's gone and I just blew $50,000 in 5 trades. So the good thing about, you know, risking the right amount is, if you have $50,000, say you have $50,000, you want to risk 1 to 2% of your account on a trade. So, and each day as well. So say I have $50,000 and I am risking 1%. That's $500 a trade. That means that means like 500 trades is gonna take, and most likely you're gonna win way more out of those 500 trades, and you're not gonna blow that $50,000 in 500 trades. It's impossible to do that. Um, but yeah, so over risking is, very bad. You don't want to over risk. Risk 1 to 2% um, a day. If you're taking two trades, risk 0.5% on each trade. That's what I recommend. If you over risk it, you can really let your emotions get to you, and that's it's really bad. And over trading as well. Um, I honestly never really did this. I honestly did this a few times, and I learned from it. I prefer usually take 1 to 2 trades a day, and that's it. You only really need 1 to 2 trades a day. Your setup's honestly really not gonna present itself more than 1 or 2 times. Um, but yeah, if you start to overtrade, if you're taking 5 or plus more trades a day, you're overtrading. Um, there's no way your setup's presenting itself 5 times in one trading day. Um, and yeah, honestly, it's just like you shouldn't be trading at that point. Overtrading can really um, get you in that habit of taking stupid trades, taking stupid setups, revenge trading, and that's not really where you really want to be at in your trading, and it's really just just a bad habit. So I recommend you guys to be trading 1 to 2 trades a day. Um, so yeah. So going on to the next next slide is the the title of this slide is Just Start Now. Um, what this is saying is there there is no perfect time. There is no perfect time to start something. If it's either a business, if it's trading, if it's anything. There's no perfect time where it's gonna come and you're like, okay, this is the perfect time to start. No. There's no perfect time to start. You just need to start now. There's gonna be no perfect time where you're gonna start. There's gonna be like it's impossible. So you guys just need to start now. Start working now. Get 1% better every fucking day, and you're you're gonna you're gonna be mind blown with the um, progress that you guys are gonna make. Yeah, there's no right moment to start. There's no right time to start. You guys need to just start. That's really all I have to say for that. You guys need to just start, and there's gonna be no perfect time to start. So moving on to the second one is all it all it takes is just time and work, and that's really really true. All it takes is time and work, guys. You need to be willing to put in the time and be willing to put in the countless hours and hours and hours of work to make this work, to make trading work. You can't just show up every day in the markets with no time, no work back tested, no strategy, and think you're gonna be a millionaire. That's not possible. You guys you guys need to put in the time and the work that it takes to be a millionaire. If you guys put the time and the effort and the work, you can change your life in a year. And that's really all it takes. You guys need to be back testing. You guys need to be perfecting your strategy. You guys need to be watching videos. You guys need to be taking notes. You guys need to be journaling. You guys need to be reading books. All this stuff you need to apply to your trading, and you need to apply and you need to put in the work to get the reward. It's gonna suck. There's gonna be times where your friends are like, "Oh, can I go? You guys you want to hang out?" You're gonna have to say no. There's gonna be times where you're gonna miss out on, hanging out with your friends, going out to parties, blah blah blah. But it's going to end up well for you in the long run. Just think of that. widely. Again, going back to that, think of that more long term, that long term goal for you. Where you're gonna be at in 5 years, you know? And you're gonna have to, put in countless hours of work and time in, when you're first starting trading. And once you see success, you're still gonna have to put in work, but it's gonna be less because all those, long nights, all those sleepless nights that you worked and studied and never quit are gonna pay off, and you're gonna start seeing results. So all it takes is really time and work, and I go by one of, you know, this quote that I have, and it's, if you quit, everybody will be right about you. And going down and starting training, there's gonna be people who are telling you this is stupid. There's gonna be people who are telling you this is gonna work out. There's gonna be people saying you're never gonna be successful in this. And that just motivates me to work my ass off to become so successful and show them and prove them wrong. And that's what drives me every day, bro. Um, and also number three is this quote that I wrote. It's, if you just start now, you did the first step. And that's great. If you watch this video, congratulations. If you watch this video all the way through, congratulations. You did the first step. Now start. Now go start. Go watch a training video. I recommend TJR's Bootcamp. He's also doing one right now, which is an updated version, so you should probably go watch that. But yeah, if you just start, you did the first step. Get 1% better every single day. Do one thing that will make you better at trading every single day. Even if it's reading a book for 10 minutes. That adds up. Even if it's back testing for 30 minutes. That adds up. Even if it's taking notes for 30 minutes or an hour. That adds up. Even if it's watching a YouTube video about trading. That adds up. This stuff adds up. And you may not realize it now, but in the long run, you're gonna look back and be like, wow, this stuff really adds up. And I started like 10 months ago, and I'm still working my ass off, bro. Like, you know, and I'm really just at the start right now. Like, I'm telling y'all, in a year, bro, in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years, in 5 years, it my life's gonna change. The trajectory of my life's gonna change, and I'm gonna be a millionaire within 2 to 3 years. I guarantee you it. Um, and yeah, it's 'cause I didn't quit. I worked. I'm gonna keep working, keep grinding, never stop the hustle, and I love this shit too. All right, moving on to the last and very least is delusion and discipline. Um, you want to be delusional. You want to be so delusional, and I know it's kind of a hard thing to say, but being delusional is really what's gonna drive you. Being delusional to really is what is gonna push you, and be so delusional. Be like, be basically act like your millionaire self. Like, oh yeah, I have this Lambo, I have this penthouse, this high rise in Miami, in Florida. I have all this money. I have Chrome. I have a watch. Like blah blah. Be so delusional, because when you're so delusional, it's going to work. It's going to happen. If you can already envision it, it already happened. And if you pray to God every single day and you pray to Him about it, and He gives you a vision that you have it, and you have this vision, God put that in your life because He knows that in a few years you already have it. He already knows you have it because you're so delusional and because you work so hard and you have your goals and you pray. And yeah, that's also a thing. You guys need to keep the Lord, keep God in your life, because He will change your life in drastic ways. And He will, you know, answer your prayers. You just gotta pray. and he's with you every step of the way, no matter what. And he knows that you're gonna make this work because he knows that all the work you put in and all the work you guys are going to put in if you're just starting is gonna pay off. So don't quit, boys, and keep the Lord in your life. 'Cause God's amazing. Moving on to number two. All it takes is a year to change the trajectory of your life. And that's true. All it takes is a year of hard work, dedication, discipline, delusion, everything to change the trajectory of your life. You can change your life in one single year, 365 days. Your life can change. And I know that may sound long, but that's quick. It maybe sounds quick to you. Like, you guys gotta realize that you can change your life in a year. If you just put in the hours and the work, dude, your life's gonna change. And I'm telling you, like, in the end of 2026, my life's gonna change, and I just know it, and I know God's with me, and it's gonna happen. And you guys can do it too, bro. Like, you guys got it, dude. And you're gonna have to be willing to put the work in, and you're gonna have to work harder than others. One thing I go by that TJR said, my coach, is if you don't do something, or if you don't put in the work each day, somebody work harder than you. And I am a very competitive person, and I don't like when people work harder than me. So every day I show up, no matter what I'm doing, no matter how busy I am. I show up and I show out and I work my ass off for countless hours because I feel good about myself. And you guys can feel good about yourself too. I don't know if it's me, but after I finish something, I feel accomplished. And when I don't, I feel like a loser. And I'm gonna give you guys a little, like, if you're just starting, like, a little backstory on how I started. I started because I saw a TikTok of TJR and trading stuff. So I was in California, and I was like, you know, I think I'm gonna try this out. I think I'm gonna start this. It looks like you can get money really, really quickly. Wrong. I've been, that first kind of 7 months of me trading was all learning, was all back testing, was countless hours. You know, stress, tears. I really went in a dark hole. I hit rock bottom. I didn't know what to do with my life, but eventually I decided I need to put in more work, and this can really change my life. And if I lock in, it will happen. Um, and I stood up on 2 feet, put my foot on the gas pedal, and I'm keeping it there forever. Um, and you guys are gonna hit rock bottom in your trading. Like, it's bound to happen. Everyone hits rock bottom. And that rock bottom in your trading career is either gonna make or break it. You guys are either gonna be like, okay, I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore. I wasted all these hours. I'm done. Or you can be like, I can make this work. Just because it's hard. There's light at the end of the tunnel, guys. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And it can happen. And it's going to happen if you guys just don't quit. If you don't quit, it's bound to happen, guys. Um, there's been times where I've wanted to quit multiple times, but I told myself no, because it couldn't work. And I prayed to God as well. Um, and I know it's gonna be really hard. I've had I've had really hard times, but you just gotta put in that work, and it's gonna happen, guys. And um, yeah, I believe in you guys. Don't quit. And I'm gonna make another psychology video soon. And I hope you all have a great day. Um, I'll catch you on the next one, boys. Peace out.